explode sort of thing. It's
Right.
mainly to do with poverty, I think.
Right, we're live on YouTube, so we'll save that one for another time.
Yeah, we'll not save Northern Ireland just today yet.
No. Okay, so yeah. Let's just get the everybody in. We ready to rock?
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Teaching Live. It's I can't remember. Is it week 4, Pie? I can't.
Yeah.
I know that the weather has been absolutely fantastic this weekend where I've been. I'm assuming it's the same pretty much all over. I've been out by the seaside, enjoying the sun, and yeah, had a great weekend. How are you, Pie?
I'm very well. Yeah, like you, we've had a lovely weekend. But come on, John, you've had good news that you need to tell everybody.
Well, yeah, okay. So I just received an email on Friday that I qualified for the European Triathlon Championships in the middle distance, which is half Ironman age group. So I was pretty chuffed about that. So I'll be racing in Belgium in August in the European Championships. So yeah, delighted about that.
That's amazing. So that's bicycling, running, and swimming, isn't it?
Yes. So, well, the swimming first, then cycling, and then running.
Okay.
So a triathlon is something I've been doing for a very long time.
And presumably, I mean, you're not a spring chicken, John.
No, I'm 60 next birthday in a couple of weeks' time. So I'll be in the 60 to 65 age group, which is a lot of very grizzled triathlon veterans.
It's quite an achievement, though.
Thanks,
I find if I run for the bus, it's a struggle for me. So I'm in full admiration for you. How are you, David?
I'm very well. I'm my triathlon training is going very well because my triathlons consist of my first event is the Onion Bargee.
Yeah.
The second event is the Jalfrezi, and the third event is the Mango Lassie. So yeah. I'm doing quite well, Pie.
Yeah, I can cope. I probably could cope with that myself, actually. Particularly the Mango Lassie, very fond of that.
Yes.
So perhaps we ought to crack on. And Dark Whispers, the land, the terrain of the Bright Storm adventures. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to, first of all, we're going to have an interview. And you're applying, everybody's in role, applying for a job on the Aurora, on the spaceship, on the skyship. So you're going to think about how are you going to persuade the captain, Harriet Culpepper, that you are just the right person to join the crew. We're going to lead towards, obviously, writing a letter of application. So you'll think about all your strengths, the things that you could offer. So we're going to start with a bit of an interview, and we'll swap over at halftime as usual. David, do you want to start by being the interviewer or the interviewee?
I'll be the interviewer, please.
Okay, you're the interviewer. You are now Harriet Culpepper with a slightly scary beard. So you're going to interview me, and you need to find out, I've applied. You've got to find out information about me and think about whether or not I'll be suitable.
Okay, just get my name.
Awful if you forget. Right, my name is Blake Corbett.
Blake Corbett. And age?
10.
Okay, so could you tell me your main reasons, please, for wanting to go on this exploration adventure?
I've always wanted to travel to other lands and to visit different islands, find out new things. I've always had a lot of curiosity. And I also think that it's possible that we might be able to find the lost explorer Armitage Riddlesworth.
Legend has it, so that's quite a challenge. If you obviously been this role, we need a bit of experience. Could you tell me a little bit about the experience you've had on skyship traveling?
Yes, I've taken every opportunity that I can to travel on skyships. So I've been a passenger on many occasions, and wherever I have been able to, I've helped out on the ship.
Okay. Now, on your application form, so one of your talents you've mentioned is to do with the flaming leotard. What other talents do you have, or do you want to expand on that one, sir?
Well, that was actually not really a talent. It was in a way. I was diving through. I was part of a team of gymnasts, and I was diving through a flaming hoop when, unfortunately, my legs caught the hoop and I got on fire. But my training as a gymnast does mean that if we need to run up and down ropes or rope ladders, I'm really, really fit and able to do that.
Okay. And well, leading on from that, the skills needed are quite important. And what kind of skills do you have which will be useful as a crew member on this ship?
Well, the skills that I've got, I've taken a course in navigation by the stars, and that means that at night I'd be able to help steer the ship in the right direction. I'm a very good map reader, and I did well in my SATs. You may know those, the Skyship and Transport exams, the SATs. Last year I did really well in Skyship steerage. So I believe these skills are going to be well suited to work on navigation and steerage. So I think that I'll be able to help with that. I'm also pretty good at cooking boiled eggs and toast. So I'd like to help in the galley as well. And I'm very willing to learn.
Okay. And just and how did you get on with your SPAG test?
SPAG test. Well, yes. No. I didn't do very well in my SPAG test, if the truth be told. But I'm not a fussy eater. I'll be very good at eating whatever we have to, and I don't mind sleeping on the deck either. So, but my SPAG test wasn't the best.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that, and we shall let you know.
Okay, so after a couple of minutes, John will end the interview, and then you swap roles. So I'm now going to interview you. Name? I'm going to do an old Harriet Culpepper. What's your name, my boy?
Seth Johnson.
Seth Johnson.
I
see. And how old are you, Seth?
27.
27. Yes. Well, what qualifications have you got for this job?
Well, I am from a little village in Yorkshire, and it's on its own up in the hills on the Ilkley Moor. I don't know if you know Ilkley Moor.
Is that where you go without a hat?
That Bartat, aye, that's where we go. And up there, you're on your own. There's nothing around, so you've got to be able to find your way around using, the stars, the moon, the sun, rocks and things. So I'm very well adapted to finding my way around and navigating my way around new places.
Yeah. Okay, so I think everybody's got the idea. John, there's a list in the teacher's notes of possible questions. People could invent their own questions, etc. So one of you is in role as the captain, and the other is trying to get a job. So you've got to really make something of your skills and persuade Harriet to take you on board as a crew member.
Okay, I will put 4 minutes on the clock, and after 2 minutes, I will get you to swap over. So if you've been asking the questions, you then get to answer the question. So 2 minutes, I'll stop you. I'll start the 4 minutes right now. That's your 2 minutes up. You need to change over. Okay, that's your 4 minutes. So we'll go straight to the TeachingLive website. And we'll click on this morning's session. And here's the day's session page. And we'll go on to Padlet activity number 1. Right, Pie, what are we doing this morning?
Okay, so we're building up to write this letter, this application, because we want to be on the Aurora as a crew member. And what you can see here, John, is we're going to practice sentences to try and persuade the captain to take us on board the crew. And we've got first, second, and then moreover. So that's a really good word for adding on an extra bit of information. Furthermore, and in addition. So first, and you'll notice, because they're adverbs, you'll notice we've got a comma after each one. So first, comma, my main strengths are, and then you'd list your strengths. You might say, my main strengths are, I am highly qualified at steering, comma, I'm very brave at fighting dragons, and I keep my shoes, I've got a good pair of deck shoes or whatever it's going to be. Secondly, I'm accomplished. That word accomplished means you're really good at something. I'm a slightly posh word. I'm accomplished. So, John, you are very accomplished at doing your triathlons. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been chosen for the team. So that is an accomplishment. You are accomplished at it. There may be other things in life that you're not very accomplished at.
Plenty of those.
Yes, probably quite a few. So it just means you're really, really good at something. So you've got to think about what would be useful on board the sky ship. What are you accomplished at? Get that into a sentence. Could be a sentence of one thing or two things or even three things, but you've got to watch the punctuation when you're working on that. Then you've got moreover, I'm very skilled at. Furthermore, I'm good at. And in addition, I would be able to help with whatever it's going to be. Obviously, you can slightly vary those, but let's practice those adverbials, the first, the second, moreover, in addition, and get down some sentences to really persuade Harriet that you are an absolute must-have as a member of the crew. So I can see, David, we're off already, aren't we?
We are. I can see quite a few coming in now. I've put a little reminder in there, Pie, about the punctuation, especially that comma. If we're going to be innovating on those sentences, we've got to make sure we include those, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, if you think about it, if you are writing a letter of application for a job, you've really got to make sure that you get the letter as accurately written as possible, because somebody at the other end, Harriet, is reading it and she might think, not sure about that. So you really got to work on that one.
I like Cherry from Carno's. First, my main strength is stopping pirates from ambushing the ship.
Yeah, that would be very useful. I wonder how you'd do that, Cherry.
Gethin from Carno. In addition, I would be able to play football. What have you forgotten at the end of your sentence, Gethin? You might want to edit yours. I'm wondering how playing football is a strength when it comes to going on a sky ship.
Yes, so it's not any old thing, is it?
Mustafa from Bolton, is it Mustafa and Azam from Bolton Parish? First, my main strengths are physicality and super speed. Now then, you've put in a comma after physicality, and when you do a list, if you've got a list of three things, you'd put a comma between the first two. But when you use and, you don't need the comma. So you can edit yours and change that to get rid of the comma before and.
Yeah, as a basic rule, don't put a comma before and. And what we're really looking for is things that would be helpful. So Benjamin and Jack, on the other hand, I can fix any damages on the inside of the spacecraft. Well, it's a sky ship, but I take what you're saying. You need, remember, after on the other hand, you need that comma, but that definitely would be a useful thing to have on board. So Harriet would be impressed with that.
Flynn from St. Patrick's and Carter from St. Patrick's, you need to go back and edit your sentences to put in the missing piece of punctuation. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Nancy and Catherine from Carno, in addition, I would be able to look after the parrots, polish the golden treasure, and wash the dirty socks.
A sentence of 3, is that, Pie?
It is indeed, yes. So we're loving that one. A little bit more challenge in that one. Well done. Yeah. Secondly, I'm really good at persuading people into doing the impossible. That might be useful.
That would be very useful.
I think, Maria, you need to tell us what you're very experienced at, because it could be something that's completely nothing to do with going on an adventure on a skyship.
I like Hayden's from MJS. Firstly, my main strength is I can fight people on the wing of a plane or blimp without falling off. That's good. I like that.
That would be very useful. Now, Alfie, your main strengths are that you're a champion at eating, but that may not be useful on the skyship. I don't know.
Especially if you're on a long journey when food has to be rationed. There's a few people not paying attention to their basic punctuation. They're getting a bit carried away with writing their sentences and missing out the basics in terms of capital letters and full stop. So I, whenever you write the word I, it's always a capital letter. Carter, you've missed the full stop again. Come on, pay attention to your sentences.
James, first, my main strength is weightlifting. That might be useful, obviously. James, Bolton Parish, year 4. Just go back. You can edit that. A couple of things that you know about that you could sort out there. So Chloe and Jake, first, I'm very young. And my main strengths are fighting, rock climbing, and sleeping. I don't know whether sleeping would be much useful, but rock climbing, I suppose, might. Nicole, my main strength, I like that one, Nicole, that I can cook better than Gordon Ramsay.
Maria, moreover, I am very skilled at parkour and defending myself. I bet you don't even know what parkour is, do you, Pie?
No, I haven't got a clue.
You've seen the videos of people bouncing around off buildings and jumping big gaps and vaulting over fences. That's parkour.
All right.
First, my main strengths that I can cook better than Gordon Ramsay. Nicole, don't forget your I needs capitalizing. So you can edit that one. Nicole from Forest. And Jack from Forest as well. You need to capitalize your I's as well. Firstly, comma, my main strength is geography and I'm good at mapping locations, as I qualified in the school for the gifted in the subject map plotting and location finding. Yeah, very good.
Sounds excellent work. Amelia from Bolton Parish, in year 5. I'm liking yours, Amelia. First, my strengths are being able to fly anywhere, see people's deepest, darkest secrets, and lastly, scoring all the goals in football. I don't know if the football one would be much use on the skyship, but the others might.
Seb and Sicily, I don't know which school you're from. Firstly, I have won many awards in karate and I am a black Dan. Secondly, I can sleep anywhere. Finally, I am very strict and will do anything that I'm told to do. So you've got the whole 3 sentences going there. Very good.
I like Caleb and Riley from St. Patrick's. First, my main strengths are I'm good at defending skyships. I excelled in my dad's defense against dragons, and I'm good at playing football. Well, certainly the first 2 are good. I don't know about the football one.
I like the defense against dragons.
Yeah, that was clever, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a good idea. Esme and Ekin, my main strengths are swimming, such as treading water and sculling. So it might be useful.
Ibrahim from Bolton Parish has got lots of strength, so his main strength is karate and an author. Do you mean a writer there, Ibrahim? I'm not sure. I'm accomplished at making things come alive, which could be handy. I'm very good at archery and would help, as I could be a security guard. And lastly, I could able to help you as a chef because I make delicious food. Lots of very useful skills. Right, we'll come out of the Padlet, go back to the session page. I think there's some good stuff going on there. It was quite a straightforward frame, but when you don't have to think too much about the sentence structure, you've still got to pay attention to the basics in punctuation. There was quite a few people missing capital letters and full stops in that session, which is, it's a simple one, but when you getting carried away with quickly writing, you still need that accuracy. Right. So audio, David, have we got any audio this week?
We have indeed. We always seem to get some now. In the early days, some weeks we didn't get any, but we always seem to get some now, which is great. I'm going to be choosing one. I presume this is from Madeira Primary School it's Wrexham, isn't it? Because this child is called Evan, and it's a good old strong Welsh name, Evan. It's like David, I have to say that. So it's in green there, John.
Yeah, got it.
In fact, it probably come through better if you play it through your computer. I don't know.
Shall I do that?
Yeah, it's well done. He hasn't done A to Z. He's gone A to L, which I'm glad, because otherwise it'll go on too long. But we'll go from A to L to ladders. Okay.
Okay.
My advice poem. Alleyways can be very dangerous because of thugs. Beware of dragon blood because their blood is very poisonous. Crystals can be highly dangerous because crystals are explosive. Contrary to popular beliefs, elves are deceiving, cunning, and destroyers. Dragon breath comes in varieties of fire, water, sound, poison, and air. Everyone is afraid of an axe. Bring one with you. Friends are important. Bring one with you on your epic journey. Gnomes are very nice. I advise you to make friends with one. Horses are good for travel, but beware of their easily spooked attitude. Invisibility cloaks are really good for hiding, but I advise you not to use it too much because it slowly takes your humanity. Jewelry is enjoyable, but it attracts the Goblin King, so I advise not to unless you need it. Ladders are useful only when climbing because they can be used to get to high places.
Okay, I really thought about that. There's some really quite quirky things in there.
He went slightly off-piste with the reading as well, sort of adding stuff as he went along.
Yeah, I noticed that. He added some good things in, so he could go back and get those in, Evan. There was a lot of good ones, actually, from Minerva. Isaac's was good.
Yeah. I thought Evan read that really, really well as well.
He did read it extremely well. A lot of good ideas and that. Excellent work. I noticed Callie's, make sure you have an axe as sharp as a goblin's tooth, which I thought was a really good idea. So, yeah, a lot of really good ones from Bolton Parish, from Minerva. Well done, everybody.
Yeah, excellent. That's great. Right, so if we go back to the session page and into the second Padlet.
Now, well, we're obviously building on what we've already done. And if we need to look very closely at these, John, because we're asking for two sentences. So you would say, if you look at the first one, I've always been good at, let's say I've always been good at identifying I don't know, dragons that are hiding in clouds, full stop. And then you've got a new sentence. This means that, I mean, you've got to say what it means. If you look at the next one, again, it's two sentences. I am proficient at. Now, proficient is a bit like accomplished. It means you're not the world's best, but you are very, very competent at it. You can do it pretty well. So John would say, I'm proficient at swimming, full stop. I would therefore be able to escape if the skyship landed on water. So again, it's two sentences. I had the ability, that means the skill. I had the ability to use, I don't know, fire stones, full stop. As a result of this, I can fight off orcs and flying goblins. I have a good command of. Now, if you've got a command of something, that means that you really know your stuff. I have a good command of, let's have a think, of, I have a good command of reading the wind, and then it's full stop. Consequently, comma, I would be able to help with making sure that the aurora keeps flying. And then you've got the same thing again. My qualifications include whatever they are. And then you say full stop, as a result of this, I would be able to. I am experienced at, full stop. This might be useful if, but the last two are slightly different. It's just one sentence, and the bits in blue are the conjunctions. I have taken a course in mountaineering so that I would be able to help if we land on an island that has lots of mountains. And the next one, I would like to join the crew because, so that's just a straightforward conjunction. So his last two give you one sentence. All the others are two sentences. And because they're two sentences, you've got to remember the capital letter full stop, capital letter full stop, and to write two distinct sentences.
So the first part, Pie, is a fact.
Yeah. Yes.
The second part explains why the fact is useful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an explanation.
Yeah. So the two sentences are linked. The first one, I've always been good at riding my bicycle. This means that I could help carry goods to the aurora, or I'm proficient at, right. So the first part is a statement of fact. The second part is an explanation of why that fact is useful. So the two sentences must follow on from each other. Right. Are we ready to go with the Padlock Pie?
I think we are. It's a little bit more challenging, this one, because it's two sentences, John, that must relate. So everyone's got to be on the top of their game with this one, I think.
Well, let's see what we come up with.
And Kalil and B, straight off, I'm proficient at fighting. I would therefore be able to kill goblins in a matter of seconds. So the two relate nicely. The punctuation's accurate, makes good sense. Well done. You can get on to another one now. Try a different one. And Alfie, I've always been good at the job. I'm very proud to work. This means that my career is going well. It sort of hangs together. I'd like a bit more information, Alfie, about what you're good at. Ethan, I've always been good at gaming. This is because I play every day. The two sentences work. I don't know how, whether gaming really relates to going on the skyship, but basically you've got it. I've always been good at running. This means that I can run from orcs really quickly. So that's Will and Violet. Nicole, I've always been good at cooking. This means that I can be one of the most professional cooks. A bit more detail, perhaps, about what sorts of things you cook. I don't know, Nicole, but you've got the punctuation and the sentence structure right. Athena and Huey, I've always been good at acting. That means I can deceive other creatures and animals from leading us to the to the treasure to their certain death. Dun, 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 dun. It's not 2 sentences, but you threaded it together so it makes perfect sense and it's properly punctuated. Well done. Layla, I've always been good at making weapons from scratch. This means that if we come across any creatures, we can fight them off.
Excellent. That's good. Yeah, I like that one.
There's a bit of competition coming in there with Amy. I have the ability to cook. As a result of this, comma, I can be a better cook than Nicole. Just watch out for those commas.
Yeah, very good.
Watch out for the comma after that adverbial. As a result of this,
Yeah, Poppy from Forest. I've always been good at hunting animals. This means that I will be able to provide for the crew and keep everyone fed. Excellent, Poppy. That's really good. Don't forget, I means needs capitalizing. So it's a common one this morning. Lots of people. Kai from Bolton Parish, you've done the same thing. Amelia from Bolton Parish, you've done the same thing. I always needs capitalizing.
Margarita from Forest. I've always been good at jobs like this. I think you need to say what the job is, and then it's 2 sentences. So nip back, have a look at that, see where the punctuation should go. Now, Harim, I've always been good at drawing. This means that one of my drawings can maybe go up in a museum or an art gallery. So that sort of flows along nicely. Now, I imagine on the journey, Harim, you'd be drawing things like new flowers and new animals, and maybe sketching the crew. Georgie, have a look at yours because the punctuation is not quite right. It's 2 sentences.
Flynn from St. Patrick's is making me chuckle. I'm where's it gone? I'm proficient at helping people get out of trouble. Therefore, I would be a great lawyer. So if you're in Goblin Court, I can help you get out of Goblin Jail. So yeah, I can see how a lawyer could be helpful on a Skyship adventure. But if you read it through, Flynn, there's 1 or 2 little bits that you need to sort out. If you're in Goblin Court, common one, which your is it? Is it you are shortened to your, which is apostrophe RE, or is it your belonging to?
Nice idea though, John.
Yes, I do like that idea. It's a bit imaginative.
So blessing. I've always been good at making things like bracelets, necklace, rings, watches. You need a full stop there, blessing. This means that if all the jewelry finishes at the shop like Rolex and Pandora, you can buy some from me. You might be good for trading, I suppose, in different lands.
There's a lot of people putting commas to link the 2 sentences when it should be a full stop.
Yeah, it's a very common error, that one. It's 2 sentences. Well done, Luca and Oliver. You need another one now. Rose and Kira, I've always been good at fighting goblins on the way to the Kraken's volcano. You need another sentence really there.
Isa from Bolton Parish, I am excellent at controlling cars, spaceships, and so much more. This means I would be able to control the ship if needed, which is great. You've got a few random capital letters in there for some reason, Isa. Maybe you could go back and sort those out for us. That would be good. Amy's coming back on the cooking competition. I'm experienced at cooking. This might be useful if Nicole and I ever have a cooking competition. I will definitely win.
I don't know if we've had Libby from Kano. I've always been good at karate. This means that if we get attacked by pirates, I could defeat them. So you've got a nice 2 sentences there. Ibrahim's really extended himself with his ideas there.
Flynn from St. Patrick's, really good. Well done for coming back and editing your sentence and making it all make sense. I am proficient at helping people get out of trouble. Therefore, I would be a great I would be a great lawyer. So if you're in Goblin Court, I can help you get out of Goblin Jail. You've still got your and your mixed up, Flynn. You need to sort that out.
Now, Ibrahim, you need to nip back and just double check that you've got it in 2 sentences. It's where it goes, this means. You got the first ones right, but have a look at the others just to check for me. And we love it when people like Flynn go back and edit theirs. Really good part of writing. We've seen so often it's hard to get it right first time round. So you've got to be in the habit of reread and double check and then sort it. Well done, Poppy.
Christopher from Bolton Parish. I'm good at fighting. This means that I can teach new people and defend the airship from creatures. Simple, but spot on with your punctuation. Not too complicated. Sometimes that helps. Now, Margarita from Forest has used a conjunction. I have taken a course in first aid so that I can help people with emergencies. Excellent. Well done,
that works
Margarita.
well.
Really good.
Athenian Huey, now you need a full stop in there. I've always been good at acting, full stop. That means I can. Just nip back, edit it. Jack, I've always been a talented chef. If I get this position, I shall bring joy to your taste buds every day. I'm skilled at making plain old food into new, fresh, nutritious, healthy food.
Well, that's a remarkable skill, Jack. And you'd have a job on my skyship. Because I think on a skyship adventure, if it's a long one, you might get boring food a lot of the time.
Yes, and you'd have to have the ability, wouldn't you, that if you landed on an island, you'd have to go out and see what was growing there and be inventive.
Yes.
So Will and Violet, I've always been good at running. This means that I can run from orcs really quickly.
Now, Isla from Bolton Parish in year 3. I'm good at dancing. So you need a full stop there, Isla. So then you need to use one of Pie's openers. This means that, for example, this means that if you are being robbed, I will distract them. So you just need to look at that one, Isla, and sort your punctuation out. You missed a full stop at the end as well, but very good effort.
I see Sophia is saying she can cook like Gordon Ramsay and make a mango lassi. So you need a full stop in there somewhere. Sophia, have another look at it because you've got 2 sentences actually. So go back, think about that one, but you got a nice idea.
Yes, I think there's a bit of cooking competition going off this morning. Right, we'll come out of the Padlet and go back to the session page.
Funnily enough, John, I thought people tackled that better than the first Padlet, and I actually thought it was a harder task.
Well, I think there was a bit more attention to detail.
Yes.
There were some common mistakes. Again, capitalizing I's, and then following. If we just quickly there, Pie. There were 2 sentences. So this means that a lot of people put a comma or didn't, and just carried on with this means that as a continuation of the sentence. So it was 2 sentences. So that was an important part of that. But then, no, you're right. There was some really good imaginative stuff going on there. Right, the gallery. I can't remember what last week's gallery challenge was. Oh, it was the contents of. Yeah,
the things that you would take with you.
Lots of really good ones.
The equipment that you're going to take with you.
Olivia's from Bolton Parish. She's done a very good upside. Remarkable, Olivia. How on earth can you write upside down? I don't understand. That's a really clever skill, that. But No, but it's really good. Yes, I like that one a lot. And there's lots of, there's 1 or 2 maps. And another one there, Adil from Bolton Parish, an Explorers Kit. Blessing, loads from Bolton Parish have got there. And St. Patrick's as well, doing Explorers Kits. Wow, there's absolutely loads. And there's some 1 or 2 more butterflies from the week before as well. So lots of Explorers Kits, which is really good. Caleb there with a nicely illustrated one. Ibrahim's looks good. And so, yeah, there's some very good ones. So what are we doing? Now, this is my favorite one this week. What are we doing in the gallery challenge this week, Pie?
Well, there you can see it. It's worth visiting Vashti Hardy's website because she has got some downloads and bits and bobs on there. And the challenge is to draw, paint, or make a skyship. And that first one is by Arlo, who's 8 years old. And I thought that was a cracker. And you can see he's got some dragons, a lot of detail on there, John. I mean, he's got various dragons attacking. And what he's done is he's gone on to Vashti's website where you can download an image of the aurora. And then he's copied that, adding little bits of detail and things himself, and got the those fire dragons attacking, sky dragons they are. Now, if you go down one, John,
he's done a lot of detail on the skyship there.
It's superb drawing, I thought. And then Georgia came up with this one. I like this one because she's done some labeling and telling us what the different things are, like the bedrooms and the bathroom.
Like a cross section of the skyship, isn't it?
Yeah, cross section. And then further down, you've got Ronnie's. So Ronnie's was some labeling, could have done with a bit more, but I'm loving the patterns and the colours there on that particular one.
It actually looks as though it's been coloured in felt tip, which is often a teacher's nightmare, but she's done it really carefully.
She has, yes. It can look awful, but that one does actually, the pattern works extremely well.
Yeah, and I like the way she's kind of edged the
yeah.
That works extremely well. That's good.
Yeah, it's the detail. Now, it's a bit, for some reason, it's gone on side, but that is actually a papier-mâché one. So what you do is you get a balloon, you blow the balloon up, you cover the balloon in papier-mâché, you wait for it to dry. Eventually, the balloon will just fizzle, and then you paint your papier-mâché. And then I think those are probably straws or could be sticks to get the little bit underneath.
Yeah, that's an origami boat, isn't it?
It looks like it, yes. I mean, there's one more, which is a drawing. That was a painting, actually by the same person that did the skyship, made the skyship. So paint, draw, do a cross section, label. But this week we're doing the skyship.
Right, so that's a really good one. I like this because it's really imaginative stuff, and it'd be great if we had 1 or 2 models to show in the gallery next week. But you could make a model out of Lego if you wanted, I guess, if you got enough Lego booting around at home. This one has a bit of a look of a Greek galley about it, I think. If you are into pictures of Greek galleys, a galley being a ship, ancient Greek ship, it has that sort of look about it. Very, very good. Okay, we'll look forward to seeing all those next time. So on to the blog challenge.
Yes, the blog challenge. So I've already found one mistake.
Nice.
I think. Let's see. Dear Captain Harriet Culpepper. So I'm writing to the captain and I've got to persuade her to let me join the crew. I am writing to apply for a job on the Skyship Aurora as a member of the crew for your latest journey. So you've got to start with something like that, John, that sets out why you are writing. That's the first paragraph. I hope that you may have a vacancy for a young, eager Skyship traveller who will bring many different talents to help on your journey. So it's a general introduction. And then I've got to go into a bit of detail. I gather that Eudora Vane, she's the baddie, has organised a fleet of skyships to search the last known destination of the missing adventurer Hermitage Wrigglesworth. I would love to join the crew of the Aurora and launch off into the skies for such an exciting adventure. Now I go through the reasons. Now I'm trying to persuade Harriet to let me join the crew. First of all, notice that comma. I've been friends with Arthur and Maudie Brightstorm for many years, and we often play together in Longtown, where I live. This means that I would be able to fit easily into the crew. Arthur has promised that he'll help me settle into any jobs that you have for me. Secondly, I've taken a course at school in navigation by the stars so that I could help with steering the Aurora in the right direction at night. I'm a proficient map reader and did well in my SATs, Skyship and Transport exams, last year's. And we had that clever bit with the dads that somebody came up with earlier. So it'd be good to play around with that, especially in Skyship steering. I believe that these skills are best suited to work on navigation and storage. I told you. That's the first one. I wonder if there are any more. And it's interesting, it's only when you read it aloud that you really notice it, and that's why reading to your partner is so important. Furthermore, I'm a skilled breakfast maker. I've been boiling porridge as well as making boiled eggs and toast for years. This means I could be of some use in the ship's galley and help cook. I'm good at learning, always listen in lessons, and think that I could be a real help. Additionally,
Can I just stop you there, Pie?
Yeah.
Galley. That's an interesting word. So it's a kitchen on a ship, isn't it?
Ah, right. Yes. Yes.
Some people might not know that.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Yes. Notice each paragraph, each bit starts with one of those adverbials. Additionally, I'm a capable reader and could help Arthur with any research that needs to be done as we visit different islands. My writing is accomplished, and I would be happy to write up the ship's log on a daily basis. My teachers have praised me for my neat handwriting as well as basic drawing. This means that if we discover any new species of plant or creature, Arthur and I could draw these and keep notes about them. Moreover, I've had previous experience on local skyships, so I'd not be afraid of flying. I'm brave and loyal. If we were to meet sky goblins, cloud dragons, or even winged cliff orcs, then I would be prepared to fend them off the ship. I've developed a good standard in basic bow and arrow work. I've used fire crystals before and know how to throw these at any attacking creatures. My main strengths are that I'm good under pressure, can think on my feet in any emergency. I'm helpful and willing to take on most tasks. I'm not a fussy eater, know when to keep quiet, and have a good singing voice. There are quite a lot of sentences of 3 in this one, John. We need to be practicing those to build up the information into one sentence. This might be useful if we come across any flying mermaid choirs. I have an excellent command of knot tying. This may be useful when dealing with sails and securing provisions on board. Finally, I'm especially keen to join this expedition because I believe that Eudora Vane may well be up to no good. I've discussed this with Arthur and am keen that we ensure that we keep a close eye on whatever she does. This may help you as you will be busy as captain of the ship. Please consider me for a role. So I'm now sort of ending it, rounding it off, going back sort of to the beginning as to why I was writing. Please consider me for a role as a new crew member. I do not eat much, can sleep on deck, and will work hard for you. Yours sincerely, Pie Corbett. P.S. Now, P.S. means I'm just about to add on an extra bit. I will have to bring my pet cane toad called Bert. He can see in the dark and eats mosquitoes. And cane toads, you get them in Australia. They're very, very big toads.
And very poisonous.
Yes, nasty. But
Yes.
Bert isn't. He's very friendly.
A friendly cane toad. Right. So it's really important with this one. You've got to set out your reason why you're writing it right at the start, and you need to round it off with asking what you want. So in this case, please consider me for a role as a new crew member. So those two, the sort of top and tail of it, of the sandwich, and the bit in the middle are your lists of reasons why you're going to be good at the job. I think that will be a good summary, wouldn't it, Pie?
Absolutely, yes. And just organize them with those adverbials and you'll be fine.
Yes. So yeah. So you can actually chunk this up quite nicely. Don't forget the commas after the adverbials, all the way through. And I think you've done that for loads and loads of all the paragraphs where you're describing your skills. You've started with an adverbial. Apart from that one, Pie, main strengths are where you're summarizing your main strengths at the end.
I think too, it would be worth starting with a big brainstorm, John, with the class thinking of all the different skills and talents and things that would be useful to have on the skyship. Start from that, so everybody's got lots of ideas right at the beginning.
Yes, I think that would indeed be useful. But if you go through I think the Padlets will also be very good at. If you go back and look at the Padlets, you can squirrel Magpie lots of ideas from those as well. Find ones that work and improve on those that have been written to help you with your letters. So that'll be that's quite a nice one. A letter applying for a job on the Aurora. So that's it for us this week. So a couple of things really. First of all, teachers, don't forget on the notes that we send out every week, there's a shout out form, which we've not been using much this term. If you have a writer in your class that is really standing out for you as a result of these sessions, please add them to the shout out form. Don't do it on a Monday morning because we won't spot the form before the show. But if you can do it during the week, anybody that's really stood out, please give them a shout out, and we'll try and mention them on the program. So that's one thing we'd like to happen. Try and get the audio going. We've been really impressed with the audio this term. It's been really great. I thought Evan's this morning was one of the clearest bit of reading we've heard. Actually, you read it beautifully, and I liked his ad libs to actually add to his writing as he was going. So that was really good. I don't know how old Evan is, but he sounded quite young. So he's quite a.
I think year 5, John.
Oh, is it okay?
I think year 5.
That was good. So enjoyed that one a lot. So that's it from us this week. We will see you. No, we won't see you next Monday because let me just check the dates, because next it's half term for most of us. Might not be half term for everybody, but it's certainly half term for us. So we are back on Monday, June the 5th. So we won't see you next week. So you've got lots of time to make your paper mache skyships if that's what you would like to do. So we'd love to see those in the gallery. So we'll see you on Monday, June the 5th for the 5th installment of Teaching Live this term. Bye-bye for now.
Yeah, bye everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.